So welcome to tonight's team call. It is Thanksgiving Eve, and it is Wednesday, November 23rd. I'm very excited to share with you girls this topic, and tonight's call is going to be a little bit different because we are going to do an interactive call, and we are going to work together to go through this process of managing your disappointments and setbacks that you may be experiencing in your business. So if you don't already have a piece of paper and a pen, please grab one because I'm going to ask you to write things down and we're going to work through this together. I've already done it and I have my answers written out, and then I would like for us to kind of go back and forth and collaborate together and just, talk about what each other's struggles are. Okay? So, and I'm asking that you be 100% honest, because I was 100% honest with my answers, and that is what is going to help us to move forward, is being completely honest with ourselves and, what our struggles may be and facing them head on. So question number one is, what are some of the disappointments you have or are facing in your business? I'll give you about a minute to write down your answers. I'm going to set a timer just so we kind of keep moving along.
Can you repeat the question, Corey?
Yep. What are some of the disappointments you have experienced or struggles that you are facing in your business? Like, what are some things that are holding you back? At about 30 seconds. All right, so what are some of the things that you girls wrote down? Go ahead and unmute yourself and just kind of share a couple things that you have written down.
I put that right now I can't do the workouts and haven't been able to do much of the workout, so that for me is kind of hard to want to push that along when I can't participate my own self and be a product of the product very well. And basically that I can't do anything to help myself, so how the hell can I help anybody else?
Okay. Cool. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, absolutely, Marguerite. We'll go to Hannah for a couple.
I would say probably rejection, and then not feeling like a product of the product yet because I haven't worked on myself yet, which I know I need to do. It's just taking that initial step, and then not feeling like I have a story because I haven't lost my weight yet. And I know that's not true, but that's just what I feel.
Okay. So, awesome. Thank you for sharing. Eva, just to get you up to speed, I asked the girls to get a piece of paper and a pen, and we're writing down what are some of the disappointments that you have experienced in your business. So, write down a couple that come to mind for you so that you can participate with us. A few that I wrote down and that as new coaches you may experience, or, kind of like Hannah said, hearing no. The rejection, self-doubt, investing heavily into people and then having them quit. Losing rank is a disappointment. Not achieving Success Club. So those are just a couple of them that kind of get us down and are hurdles when growing our business. So with those, I would like for you to now write down, how have you reacted to those disappointments? What has your action been after experiencing the disappointments that you're facing? I'll give you about 45 seconds to write those down. Marguerite, just so I don't know if you heard that last part, I'm asking you girls to now write down how you have reacted to the disappointments that you have faced. About 15 seconds. Okay, so Marguerite, we'll start with you first this time. What are some of the ways that you've reacted to those disappointments?
So I'll tell you real quick my struggles. One of my struggles is time management. I'm awful at procrastinating. And then for my disappointments, I would say, like Karina was saying, you know, my back injury, like we kind of talked about last night, you know, like I feel like sometimes if I can't do it, how can I help anybody else or like tell anybody else? And then like missed goals, you know, like when I like have a goal in mind and then I miss it, it's like super discouraging. So in turn, then I tell myself, well, maybe I can't do this, or maybe I wasn't meant to, or maybe it's a sign and stuff like that. And so that's generally my reaction.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
Hannah, what are some reactions that you've experienced or the way you've reacted to your disappointment?
To the rejection one, the first time I got rejected, I actually did really good. I just got right back up and started working on it again, and now I've just stopped completely, and I know that's not a good thing. I need to get back on it. It's just, I think this self-confidence thing is still a big part of that, which I know I need to read, and I struggle with reading, so I just got to work on that really hard with the self-development books and stuff like that.
Okay. Thank you. Eva, are you able to talk, or maybe type in the chat box if you can't chat? Oh, okay. I get discouraged. I know this is normally when you're putting him to bed. I get discouraged and then wonder if it's something wrong with me. But now I'm learning to just pick myself up and try harder. It's nothing I've done. Yeah, so exactly. Like, that's perfect. So for me, hearing no, or maybe not achieving Success Club, or losing rank, what I have come to find is we can't let things outside of our control dictate our goals. Like, we kind of retreat, right? When we hit a disappointment or we're facing a struggle, we kind of retreat and say, well, I don't really want that goal. I don't really need that, or I'll be okay if I don't achieve that. And you start changing your goals because maybe somebody told you no, or maybe you missed Success Club, or maybe you have dropped in rank. So we start to retreat from what we really want in life because of a hurdle or because of a disappointment. So today, our call is all about learning to manage our disappointment. So why manage? Like, why would you want to manage your disappointments? Wouldn't you want to just totally eliminate them? That would be nice, but there's going to be disappointments along the way, because disappointments and struggles and hurdles in life lead to growth. And if we want to do better things, if we want to do bigger things, we are going to have to grow in life. So there are two definitions for managing, because we're talking about managing our disappointment. And one is being in charge of. Being in charge of our disappointments. That's a pretty incredible description, and that really resonated with me. The second one is, management means to succeed in surviving or in attaining one's aims, especially against heavy odds. To succeed in surviving or in attaining one's aims, especially against heavy odds. Which is exactly what we're doing, right? It's exactly what we're doing. We're pushing ourselves outside of our comfort zone and pushing for our dreams to become our reality. So we must learn to manage and be in charge of our disappointments and not allow our disappointments or our struggles to rule us and our actions. So there's a story I wanted to share with you, and I kind of touched on it recently I don't know if it was in a group thread talking with some girls or if it was on a call. But Lindsay Matway, I'm sure you all know who she is. She is the only coach in Beachbody that is a 4-time superstar diamond. That means in 4 different business centers, she has 15 diamonds. So this year has been a really up and down year for a lot of top coaches. I've talked to a couple of them personally that have, and I've been on calls with some of them where they're sharing that they're as of 2 weeks ago, they are not going to hit elite for their first time in several years. It's been a very down year for a lot of people. And so Lindsay Matway has 80 something diamonds, you guys. I don't even know how many people she has in her business centers total. I mean, it's tens of thousands of people, right? And out of tens of thousands of people, only 80 of them are diamonds. And this year alone, 30 of them, 30 something, I don't know the exact number, 30 something of them have dropped their rank and have dropped diamond. So if you figure the percentage rate, her failure rate is around 30 something %, right? That's a pretty high freaking percentage. So when we're talking about being diamond or 1-star or 5-star even, if we're failing at a 30% rate, there's going to be times that you're disappointed. There's going to be times that you're struggling and things might seem like they're falling apart. But Lindsay Matway has created such success in her business because she manages her disappointments. She's not afraid to face the struggles and the disappointments, and she keeps moving forward. So I share that with you. It may not be very relatable because she's so far beyond where we're at right this minute. But even a 4-time superstar diamond coach is failing at a 30% rate, you guys. So if she can create that kind of success with that failure rate, then we can do it too. You know what I mean? Like, we just have to keep pushing, and we have to learn to manage those disappointments and be in control of those setbacks. So think about, I already talked if you were to go emerald or diamond or star diamond. So we must create accountability for ourselves. So what does accountability mean to you guys? Just, you can unmute yourself and just share what your definition of accountability is. Not everybody at once. I mean, what's accountability? I mean, it doesn't have to be a perfect definition. Just what comes to mind when you think accountability?
Holding yourself responsible for something, basically. Telling yourself that no ifs, ands, or buts, it's going to get done. So, yeah.
Anybody else have an idea? Or is
I would say being responsible and taking the responsibility to do the action you want to do and making sure you follow through with it, whether you have to go to bed later or get up earlier or stuff like that, or work on your lunch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, awesome. So I know that I've shared this with a few of you that I recently started listening to this book, which Hannah, audio, I don't read. I can't usually sit down. By the time I sit down to read, I'm asleep. So audio, I listen to, Mom's giving you the eye. Audio, I mean, literally, I listen to it in the car. I listen to it in the car with the kids in the car because it's good for them to hear too, So I've been listening to this audiobook, and it's called The 12-Week Year, okay? And the definition of accountability in the 12-week year, which I highly recommend listening to, is ownership. Accountability is ownership, a willingness to own your actions regardless of your life circumstances. a willingness to own your actions regardless of your life circumstances. We can't hold anybody else accountable and own anybody else's actions except for our own, you guys. And nobody else can hold us accountable except for ourselves, because we are the only one in control of what we do on a daily basis and what our actions are. So we have to be accountable for ourselves. We can't wait for somebody else to be accountable for us or to hold our hand and think that they're holding us accountable, because the end result is you still have to take ownership of what you are doing or what you are not doing to create your success. So I'm going to share with you a story about how I personally was not being accountable, or was not taking ownership. When PJ hit diamond and I went 1 star, I had one of his coaches that went emerald, and that's what created his business center to be diamond. I needed her to stay emerald in order for him to stay diamond, right? So every week it was like I was hounding her. I was on top of her constantly, checking my sponsorship drill down, constantly on her about make sure you're active, make sure your husband's active, make sure blah, blah, blah. And this girl's going to be inactive, so are you checking in with her? I was constantly chasing her to keep rank, which is ridiculous because I can't keep her accountable, and I was beating my head against the wall. And not only was I not keeping her accountable, I wasn't taking ownership, you guys. Like, think about all that energy I spent chasing after her and trying to hold her at rank, which she dropped and quit, and we're currently back to diamond. But think about all that energy that I put into that instead of just recruiting somebody who wanted to work the business. Had I taken ownership, I would have just went out and started forming more conversations rather than beating my head against the wall every single week for 6 weeks trying to keep one person active. So that's just an example of what that looks like for me. So take ownership. Be accountable to yourself and take ownership of the actions that you are doing and you aren't doing. And the things that you aren't doing, learn from them so that you can grow. So I would like for you to write down some things that you maybe are placing blame on somebody else right now. Something that isn't going in your favor and it's out of your control, but you're waiting on that to happen. Whether it's you're waiting on somebody to go emerald so you go diamond, or you're waiting on somebody to go active so you stay emerald. What is something right now with your disappointments that you're putting blame on somebody else or on something else? I'll give you a couple minutes. And make sure you're being honest. I know I already said that, but be really honest with yourselves with this. Put 20 seconds on the clock. Okay, so what are some of the things that you girls wrote down?
I put waiting on like people to order, like depending on that first Success Club. Like I learned, don't wait on people because they could end up disappointing. You know what I mean? Like you said, just put that effort into other people. Mm-hmm. And then I put waiting on people to decide to like work the business. Actually, because in your head you're like, well, whenever they start, then they'll go emerald fast. So then I only need to find this person to. But you can't depend on people. And like you said, you can't I guess I kind of looked at it as like I gave them what I could, the tools and the advice and what I had to offer them. So it's up to them to take it and do with it what they want. But like you know, I don't want to pull anybody. I don't want to convince anybody. You know, I want it to be, because if you have to convince them to do it or to work the business, then I feel like it's going to be just a big, long game of convincing constantly. And, you know, I don't want to do that. It's not fun. So I want someone who want to do it and love it as much as I do, because those are like-minded people, you know? So yeah.
Awesome. Anyone else?
I just put that I blame my job a lot on my lack of business, which really is more of me laying blame on myself, because I'm the only one to blame. I can't really blame anything else for my lack of drive or my lack of taking ownership of my business and working it as hard as I know that I can and doing what I know I can do.
Yeah, that's very honest and very real. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody else?
I would say mine is probably the same as my mom's, coming home and just wanting to veg on the couch and not do anything because you're tired. But I know that that's not a good excuse. And I think when I was doing it at lunch, it was better because then I wasn't at home sitting on the couch or in the recliner. I was in a work environment, so I couldn't do that. But I think I just need to get back to it.
All right, awesome. So a couple of them that I wrote down personally were waiting for coaches or business builders to go active again. Hold on. Let's see what Eva said here. I blame what's going on around me, my kids, husband, etc., for not pushing and doing what I need to do. Yeah. Thank you for sharing, Eva. Another one was waiting for girls to realize their true potential and work their business. Alicia's saying that, yeah, she's blaming her spouse as well. And saying that they will eventually join me, you know, like kind of like Marguerite said, waiting for people to enroll, you know, that sort of thing. But we have to stop trying to revive the dead, you guys. Like, we have to stop. Just like I was beating my head against the wall, if I just would have taken ownership and moved forward, things would have been different, right? So take ownership of that and move yourself forward. So I already shared with you that how I hit 1 star. We hit 1 star. We stayed there for 6 weeks, so we are lifetime 1 star. But I dropped before Summit, and I have not yet gotten back. And I'm just now getting my head back in the game. I let that mess me up big time, you guys. I stopped recruiting. I stopped believing in myself. I know that I shared recently on a call not too long ago that I really had been beating myself up. And that's when I started really pushing the self-belief and trying to find other avenues to start building that belief within myself again, because I felt like a failure. I was disappointed that I had invested a lot of time. I was disappointed that I didn't feel like a strong leader. I didn't feel like I was enough. And I had a lot of different struggles. So now I'm overcoming those as well. So it's not just you. Like, we all have our own struggles, and we all, you know, we're our own worst critic. Right? So we have times of doubt, but it's how we learn to manage that and how we learn to react to that that's going to make us a great coach. So not dwelling on things that are out of our control is kind of what that leads us to, right? So what do we have control over in life? Really, we have control over 2 things. That's it. 2 things. 1, our actions, and 2, our thoughts, our mindset, our beliefs, however you want to phrase that. Those are the 2 things in life. I'm afraid to unmute. I have 2 kids still up singing lyrics. Oh, that's all right. You're fine. If you want to share something, just type it in the box, Lori. No worries. So our actions and our thoughts or our beliefs are the 2 things that we have control over, you guys. And if we own that, those are enough. That's all we need if we have ownership and control over those two things. So I would like for you to write out another list, and it's actions that you have control over in your business. What are actions you have control over to either create or hinder the success in your business? I'm going to set the timer for like 45 seconds again. Yes. So what are actions that you have control over in your business to either create or inhibit the success of your business?
I would say getting new people, recruiting, connecting with people every day, and just being consistent with posting every day and talking to people, being a product of the product, self-help or whatever. Personal development, I always forget what to call it. That's what I would say.
Awesome. So I'm going to share a couple that I wrote down, and if you guys have something that you want to add to it, please unmute yourselves and share with everybody else. I wrote down, I have control over my own personal journey. What I post on social media, how I present myself, how I create my brand, if I'm consistent in posting on social media. The number of people I add to my list every day, the number of relationships that I grow every day, the number of people that I invite. I am in control of how I show up as a leader. I am in control of my attitude. So those are a few. Oh, I have a couple more. I am in control of investing in me, so personal development, like Hannah was saying. I am in control of how many people I follow up with each day. I am in control of building relationships with my entire downline. So are there a few that you guys thought of?
I put sitting down to do my power hour every day. I struggle with that because I'm so ADD. I just get so distracted and land in a nap, and I'll sit down for 15 minutes and then do some, and then I'm like, oh, I forgot to switch my laundry. Let me go switch it. Oh, I think I'm hungry. I'm going to make lunch. Oh, my dog needs to let out. Oh, crap, an hour's gone by, and now Landon has to get up, and I have to get Tanner from school, and so I need to I can't. It's my fault. There's no one to blame but me. I can say I have A, B, and C, but so does everyone else, and they still manage to get it. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. Mm-hmm. So it's, that's my choice. But then I also put inviting, basically like you said. My workouts, I've been a lot better on my workouts, and I think it reflects in my posts, definitely. Because when I'm not on them, for whatever reason, whether it be my back or whatever, I think I don't have as much energy, and I think a lot more people feel that for sure. And then overcoming my fears, we all have fears, but it's up to me to push past that. I can't let that hold me back. It's, it's up to me. So. Yeah.
Awesome. Lori also shared having the ability to put herself out there to meet new people and start conversations. So absolutely, we kind of touched on that. Does anybody else have anything that they thought of that was different from what was already said? No? Okay.
The only thing I had was following my meal plan. I have the ability to do that and sometimes choose not to.
Yeah. So keeping on track with yourself. Yeah, definitely. Okay. So when we're talking about having the disappointment of not getting people enrolled or not having people say yes or hearing too many no's or reaching Success Club, things like that, I wanted to share with you Christy Curtis's story, because she's a very successful coach. I'm not exactly sure how many stars she is, but she's a very successful coach. And a lot of people some people can get by with doing the bare minimum, like the power hour where you're doing the power of threes, or you're doing maybe the power of fives, and you're only doing the bare minimum. Some people can reach Success Club 5 with that, but not everybody can. And in Christy's case, she always had to double and triple that number. That's just the bare minimum of what we should be doing, you guys. So if you're struggling reaching Success Club, you have to look at that and say, look, I've only been inviting 15 people a week. I need to double that next week and invite 30, and see where you start to go to find what your numbers are for the amount of people that you need to be talking to. But just like you don't have control over somebody following through and enrolling, you absolutely have control over how many people you're talking to and how many people you're inviting on a daily basis to increase your numbers and increase your possibilities. So I wanted to share that with you because I think sometimes we think, well, these people are getting Success Club 10, 20, 30, 40. Those people are getting Success Club 10, 20, 30, and 40 because they're talking to a shit ton of people. They're not talking to 5 people a day and then everybody says, yes, 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 I want to be with you. No, it's because they're putting themselves out there and they're taking action and they're taking ownership of their action. Okay? So B, or the second one that we are in control of, are our thoughts. So I would like for you to take, I'm going to put a little bit more time on this one. I'm going to do 60 seconds. What I would like for you to do is write down all the things that come to mind that you can't do. What do you tell yourself? I can't do blank. I can't do blank. Okay? Does that make sense? Do I need to repeat? So what are some things that you tell yourself on a daily basis with your business that you cannot do? And I want you to write those out. About 30 seconds. Okay, so I'm going to read a couple that I personally wrote down that pertain to me and also just what I was thinking of the different disappointments that I had written down. I can't get to 5-star. I can't wake up early for a power hour. I can't reach Success Club. I can't get others to join me. I can't seem to empower women. I can't grow my following. So now that you've written yours down, I want you to take a minute and say them to yourself out loud. Read your list that you just wrote down. Read them aloud to yourself and tell yourself, I can't, and read all of them that you just wrote down. Read them out loud. Come on, you guys. I see those mouths moving. I can't hear you. You're all muted. I won't stare at you. Maybe I'm making you uncomfortable. I'll look away. Okay, so now feel how that felt, saying I can't and whatever your words were. Now I want you to replace can't with won't and read them again. So what was the difference? What felt different between saying I can't and I won't? Sad. Eva said it just makes her more sad when she says that she won't. Anybody else have
This
a
is
different
bad.
feeling? Anger, right? Yeah. Anybody else?
I would just say it's probably really discouraging, you know?
Yeah.
Probably really discouraging.
The difference between I can't is kind of an escape, right? Like you don't have the resources, or maybe I wasn't meant for this, or maybe I'm not good enough. You allow all those ideas to flood your mind, right? But when you say I won't, it's like you're defying what you really want to do. Won't, exactly. Won't is a choice. If you won't do something, it's because you're choosing not to use your resources. You are choosing not to do it. And that's something that we have control over, right? Okay, cool. So what I would like for you girls to do is put your paper and pens down, and you take your hands. You see these little lines right here in my wrist? Can you see it? My light's kind of bad. But the lines, the first line that you have in your wrist, I want you to take the lines in both of your hands and line them up like this. And then put your hands together. Nod your head if one hand is longer than the other. Yeah, so for me, my right hand, the middle finger is quite a bit longer than my left hand. Okay? So now what I want you to do, you can take your hands apart, look at the smaller hand, and I want you to tell your hand 8 times to grow. Look right at your hand and put your energy into your hand and tell it to grow 8 times. Ready? Grow, 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 grow. Now put your hands, do the same thing. Put your lines, put your hands back together. Are they the same, or are they the same length now? Mine are the same length. It's proof that where your focus goes, your energy flows, and your thoughts become your reality. I've done this exercise a couple times, and this is the 4th time I've done it, and every time it freaking works, you guys. It's proof that your thoughts, your beliefs, and what you tell yourself is what is becoming your reality. So, 3 things to start focusing on. 1, we've already talked about, get rid of can't and replace it with won't. Feel that emotion and allow yourself to move forward. 2, focus on your successes. Every single one of us have something to be proud of and some sort of milestone that we have reached. Focus on that. Focus on the success in your life. And 3, when you do feel disappointment, look for the lesson. It's an opportunity for you to rise above and to grow. The last thing I want to leave you girls with is empower your mind with daily I am. Start saying what your dreams are. If you're not already saying, if you want to be a 5-star Diamond Beachbody coach, tell yourself every day, I am a 5-star Diamond Beachbody coach. I am a good mother. I am patient. I am blessed. Tell yourself every day, write your I ams out. By placing new I ams into my imagination, my future dream is a present fact. I'll say it again. By placing new I ams into my imagination, my future dream is a present fact. Aw, thank you, Erin. So that's what I have for you girls tonight. I'm really excited about this. I hope that this resonates with you, that something struck a nerve, something is exciting for you to take from this. And I'm really looking forward to some really big things starting to shift. I believe in you girls like I believe in the world. I really, really do. Now you just have to start believing in yourselves. So start using these tools to overcome or manage, take control of the disappointments that you may be facing in life, not just in the business, but in life in general. And go out there and rock your freaking lives, guys. You get one chance. Freaking love it and rock it. Yeah? I love you all. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm very grateful and thankful for every single one of you, as always. I love you. If you're traveling, be safe. Otherwise, try not to stuff your face too terribly bad. Make that workout non-negotiable tomorrow morning, and I will talk with you all soon. Have a good night, girls.